This is the KRON 4 Morning News.
Relationship and communication expert Mike Robbins' latest book, Focus on the Good Stuff. Appreciating things all the time translates to appreciating the good things in your partner, the good things in your life.
And Mike is joining us today just before Valentine's Day for ways to show your partner the proper appreciation. Good morning, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
And so a lot of folks are focused on Valentine's Day, and this is the day that you have to go all out to show how much you appreciate your partner. But the other 364 days a year, well, not so much.
Well, I think these events like Valentine's Day can be a good excuse to do it, but not the only reason. In almost 10 years of doing workshops and coaching people and speaking about appreciation and gratitude, especially working with couples, I've never heard anyone say, boy, my spouse just appreciates me too much. So it's really very true. It's really something that we can work on. And I believe, they say the divorce rate in America is around 50%.
Right.
And if you think of most divorces or breakups or even arguments we have with our spouse or our partner, our boyfriend, girlfriend, it's usually because one or both of us doesn't feel appreciated. So it's a major issue in most relationships, and on a day like Valentine's Day, we can take some time to actually let that person know, here's what I really appreciate about you.
How do people begin to forget about appreciation?
Well, we get busy, and we take people for granted. And it's just one of these things we think when everything's done, when we get the kids taken care of and the house clean and all the stuff handled, then we'll appreciate someone.
You're supposed to know I care.
Exactly. And I think, or we're supposed to figure it out, or just, of course they know. Oftentimes when I'm doing my workshops, I'll say, let's talk about the people that we appreciate in our lives, and we'll do an exercise, and then I'll say, have you told these people recently? And most people will say, well, they should know already. Or, remember, I told them when we got married, or whatever.
What else do they want?
I married them, didn't I?
Yeah, I said I do. That's enough, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what are some ways that you can show your partner that you do appreciate them?
Well, one simple thing to do, and Valentine's Day, again, a great opportunity, is just take some time to write a heartfelt thank you, love, appreciation letter. But really spend some time doing it. Let them know how they impact your life. Another thing, you sit down for breakfast or for dinner, and lots of people do lots of nice things on Valentine's Day, but just look your partner in the eye and let them know very specifically, here's some things I appreciate about you. Here's how you make my life better. And then a third thing, and I do this for my wife, she loves it, and I often recommend people do it, is, little notes or little Post-it notes, put them all over the house. So just little, these are things I appreciate about you, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, you can get up early and do it. And, people appreciate things like that. It's just letting them know, here's why I love you.
So to extend that great feeling of appreciation, can you maybe make a little pledge about I'll do this for a week?
Yeah, well...
I'll do this for a week, I'll do this for a week.
Absolutely. One of the things in my book, Focus on the Good Stuff, I talk a lot about that we understand this, but we've got to practice it on a regular basis. So I put a lot of simple practices and techniques that people can do all the time. Instead of just doing it on Valentine's Day, start doing it every day, or at least every weekend, or figure out times that you can write cards or do notes or spend some time at the end of the day saying, here's some things I appreciate about you from today. And once you start practicing it, then it becomes easy and it just becomes part of your relationship.
You really do need to follow through, because I could see if you do this on one day out of the year, your partner's going to be going, okay, what's wrong? I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Exactly. People don't trust it. What's interesting? There's a study I found in my book when I was writing it. They did a study with couples, newly married couples, and this was about communication, keeping communication positive. And they videotaped newly married couples for 15 minutes. And based on this ratio that they say the good ratio is 5-to-1 positives to negatives, they were able to determine with 94% effectiveness within 10 years if those people would stay together. And they went back to them 10 years later and found out, and it was just based on 15 minutes of talking, how positive was your conversation, how negative was it. So if we can take a little time and let each other know more regularly what we appreciate about each other, especially in our love relationships, it makes a difference.
And Mike, one of the bigger things that you talk about is the fact that this actually can be practiced in your regular workday, with your friends, with your bosses, and so on and so forth.
Absolutely. A lot of the work I do is with companies like Wells Fargo, Chevron, New York Life. I mean, corporations hire me to come and talk about this, and we talk about how to bring more appreciation into the workplace on a daily basis, because, it's the #1 reason, according to all the surveys, that people leave their jobs. So we really got to do a better job of appreciating our coworkers, the people that we work with, and our customers in the business setting.
Are you talking about from the top down or the bottom up?
Well, the way I talk about it is sort of from side to side, up, down, all the way around, because
two-way.
Recognition is about results, has to come from the top down, but appreciation is just human being to human being, like, hey, I really enjoy working with you, this is why, and anyone can do that. So a lot of my work in the business world empowers people to just have that positive appreciative kind of communication all the way around.
So it's Valentine's every day for all of us.
That's the point.
You guys can let each other know.
You don't have to bring me roses.
Well, the name of the book, the title of the book, of course, is Focus on the Good Stuff and the Power of Appreciation. Mike Robbins is the author, and as Mike was saying, great timing for Valentine's Day, but really try and incorporate it through your everyday life. Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you again.
Thanks.